Tulsa King Season 3 Episode 8 Trailer, Nothing is Over. New York Mafia capo Dwight, the General, Manfredi is released from prison after 25 years and exiled by his boss to set up shop in Tulsa, Oklahoma. While sitting at the Bred-2-Buck Casino with Goodie, Mitch, Tyson, and Bigfoot in Episode 8 of Tulsa King Season 3, Ray calls Dwight. Yes, the same Ray who was ignoring Dwight's calls and grinning ominously, as though he had seized the ideal moment to subjugate Dwight, was prepared to hear reason. What use did it serve to hint at a conflict between Ray and Dwight? I'm not sure. Returning to the discussion between the two oldies, Dwight states that although it is not possible to provide Ray 80% of the liquor company's revenues, they can work out a different arrangement in which Ray grants him access to all of the Northeast's establishments that need alcohol. The proceeds from that region, which is officially Ray's territory, will benefit Ray and broaden Montague Distilleries' customer base. That seems like a good plan, so Ray swallows his pride and gives Dwight a virtual handshake. Of Tulsa King Season 3 is still being revealed, but it seems that Bill Bevilacqua was taken into custody by an unidentified authority, most likely as a result of the mayhem at the Montague Distilleries launch party and a potential treachery. Although the precise cause of Bill's arrest is unknown, it might have been brought on by a health inspector or possibly federal officials who were looking into the incident and were involved in the activities at the distillery. The arrest is a result of the mayhem that broke out at the launch party following a health inspector's fatal accident, and it is part of the growing pressure and betrayals Dwight Manfredi is dealing with. Bill's arrest. Bill was taken into custody by the police as soon as he left Dwight's residence, leaving Dwight and the audience to wonder why. Potential causes. The disorder that broke out at the launch party for Montague Distilleries, when a health inspector perished in the barrel room, is probably related to the arrest. Increasing pressure. The arrest and the party's events indicate that Dwight's empire is confronted with serious obstacles and possible betrayals from all sources, which further increases the strain on him. Future uncertainty. Dwight's future and the future of their joint business endeavors are further cast in doubt following the arrest of one of his major partners. Two of Ray's goons surround Dwight and Ray as they sit down for their meeting in the conclusion of Tulsa King Season 3, Episode 6. Ray finally brings up the subject of Dwight's new alcohol production company in Tulsa after circling the issue for a time, and he declares that he wants a share of the profits. Dwight asks Ray directly if he will cease bothering him if he receives a portion of the earnings, and Ray responds that he will, since there is no justification for him to accept Ray into this enterprise. Dwight deduces from that succinct reply that Ray has no interest in the alcohol, he only wants to snoop around because he believes it to be a lucrative business. Since Ray claims that he doesn't give a damn about what other people think, Dwight verifies that Ray is harassing him by bringing up his business partners. Dwight goes on the attack and kind of ruins the discourse when Ray states that he wants 80% of the earnings. I just want to talk about the 80% before I go into it. Quiet Ray, is it a joke? After all, Ray appeared to be out of his environment, therefore I felt that Tyson made a poor decision when he stated that. I therefore kind of agreed with Dwight when he advised Tyson not to evaluate a gangster by their appearance because their true strength lies in their minds. However, when Ray mentioned 80%, I burst out laughing because I don't understand why he was making such a high demand. It's so dumb. Returning to the discussion, if Ray is stupid, Dwight does something similarly stupid. He says Ray kidnapped Bill. Ray becomes irritated and snaps at Dwight because he has nothing to do with it. Cole and his goons arrive at Bubbles and start shooting at Dwight before Ray and Dwight can defuse the situation. Cole and almost everyone else escape unharmed, but Ray somehow believes that Dwight gave the order to hit him because of this attack. We see a brief scene between Mitch and Cleo as Dwight, Bigfoot, and Tyson return to Tulsa. They appear to be intending to put this whole situation behind them and continue traveling wherever the path leads them. Indeed, that seems sense. After all, why should they waste their youth on a venture that could land them in jail? When Goodie learns of Armand's passing, it appears that he committed suicide. In the first place, there isn't enough information about Armand to even make educated guesses, and in the second place, this seems like a cheesy way to wrap up Armand's story because it's possible that Max Casella, the actor who plays the character, didn't want to return for the third season. In addition to all of that, Dwight makes an attempt to get in touch with Ray again, but Ray ignores his call and instead gives the camera a threatening smile, as though he had Dwight under his thumb. But has he? And is Ray really so stupid to believe that Dwight planned the assassination attempt despite though Dwight was the one